Welcome to the Fantastic Story Society, a place for the most unusual stories and storytellers, including your masters of ceremony, Max Tim and Scott Marcus.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Fantastic Story Society. It's October. It is time to talk about horror movies. I was very excited to shine the spotlight on a horror movie that's out in theaters right now. It's doing some pretty amazing things, some pretty amazing storytelling. And I want to get this out there while it's still in theaters so everybody can experience this for themselves. We'll get into it really quickly here. But also, it was just so great to be able to bring aboard somebody that I've wanted to have on the show for the longest time, somebody who is maybe the biggest horror movie expert I know. I do want to take a moment to also say that I forgot to name drop somebody. I talked about somebody that was very important and an early filmmaking mentor to me. That person is Tony Michael Farmer. So shout out to him. I didn't say his name when I was talking about him, which is just a faux pas on my part. But I do hope everybody's enjoying the Halloween season right now. It's been a very, very busy one for Max and myself. We are working to continue bringing out fun new episodes like this one. I'm also doing a series called My Top 10 Favorite Haunted Filming Locations. We are up to number 3 now, so we're down to the top 3. I've talked about places like the Mountain View Mausoleum in Altadena, where Max and I individually, at the same time, but individually had maybe paranormal experiences. Beautiful place. The Formosa Cafe, Culver Studios. It just goes on and on and on. There's so many places that are famous for being filming locations and famous because they've got great ghost stories associated with them. So if you're interested at all in that, definitely check out my YouTube channel. But without any further ado, I'm going to kick off the episode. Take it away, Max.
Our happy Halloween season, everybody. I am excited for today's interview and discussion and chat. I mean, it's always fun to sit down with you, Scott, and just talk, spooky things. And 'tis the season. And so we have a guest that we've brought on. We're also going to look at a trailer for a new movie. It's supposed to be spooky, but with a very different, unique perspective. And so we're going to comment on that, but we're going to jump in talking about just horror in general, the horror that is life. I'm kidding. I'm just joking. No, horror movies and horror stories and spooky stuff. So Scott, you want to introduce who our special guest is?
Yeah, I'm so excited. This is, again, just like when we had Chad Lewis on, this is somebody that I envisioned from the very start when we were first conceptualizing this show, somebody that I really want to have on. So this is a good friend of mine, first and foremost, but Patrick Gonder. He's a retired instructor of English and humanities at the College of Lake County. His scholarly work focuses on comic books and the horror genre. His essays have appeared in Genders and The Velvet Trap. And to read his bio, I just had to pick up my own book because this is the man I got to write the introduction to it because I very much honor what he has to say. Patrick Gonder, the latest inductee to the Fantastic Story Society.
Yay.
Welcome.
Yay. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Welcome, Patrick. I'm curious, just because we were chatting beforehand, I'm going way off book here. How old is your house?
1802.
Holy moly. That is old. Wait a minute. Where do you live?
Well, we lived in Grays Lake, Illinois. But since my wife and I both retired, we moved to Western Massachusetts.
Okay.
Little town called Rowe.
That makes more sense because I thought, wait a minute. If you're in Wisconsin, I think somebody's lying to you
years
about
older
that.
than the state.
Yeah.
Man, you see homes over here older, like you see homes way older than this. It's crazy.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we have to make sure that we have time to hear some of your Missouri ghost stories.
Oh, sure.
Because, as I mentioned in the intro, Patrick was a professor, an English professor, and I took multiple classes from him, and he had his focuses on horror or comic book or television, all of these, very specific things. So you could have an English Comp 101 class, but really focus to what the students and the teacher wanted to talk about.
Save my life, being able to teach a class just on horror film and have the students all right with that instead of oh man, the thought of grading all those papers, it just made it so much easier when there was something about, like horror or comic books or something,
That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody wins. Yeah.
Yeah.
But because we were talking horror, some ghost stories of your own came out that I'm still riveted by. These, a couple of years later.
Thank you.
I don't think I've heard your Patrick's ghost story. It's not that we need to get into it right away, but I'm intrigued.
There we go. Well,
Okay.
We usually end off with a ghost story from our guests, and I know because I've pre-vetted decades ago these stories, we're going to end off with some really good ones in this episode.
Okay, good.
But so first, we're going to look at the movie Good Boy. We're going to look at the trailer for it. This is something that we used to do. Max and I used to do trailer reactions for the ISA a lot. It's been probably a year since we've done one of these.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to get into it now. Max, have you seen this trailer yet?
And I have not seen the trailer. I've heard a lot about the movie, so I know the gist of the concept, but I don't know the trailer now.
And for myself, I read the concept just a few weeks ago, and as soon as I heard it, I thought, oh, we have to do a trailer reaction video.
Yeah.
The idea, and to me, there was no story even behind it, but this is a ghost story from the point of view of the family dog. And that just right away, I'm in. I want to see this. I can't wait. And now Patrick, coincidentally, just watched this movie yesterday.
Yeah, last night. We went out last night.
So we'll watch this trailer, and it'll be interesting because Max and we're seeing this blind. Patrick, you can kind of comment on it without too many spoilers about like how it represents the film or something.
Sure.
But let's bring this up.
Do it. Oh my God. It's adorable.
It's just not fair already.
Look who's here.
Oh gosh. Love it.
I guess I'm next. I should never have come here.
Okay. I mean,
How interesting how slow the trailer was at first.
right.
Boy, I guess I didn't really know how they were. I'm more intrigued just how they're going to shoot this. Like I thought it was literally going to be through his eyes or something.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, that's going to get old. But
Although they do keep the camera for the most part at the level of a dog.
Oh, okay.
So you almost never see the actors' faces, except for a few cases.
Sure.
Okay. So obviously there's dialogue, but I can't imagine there's that much dialogue.
No, there isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes me think of Steven Soderbergh's Presence.
Right.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's, again, great concept. It's worth a look, 100% worth a look. I've got some problems with it. I feel like it could have used another rewrite or two because it seemed like there were some, because of the nature of it, like you're saying, there's, there can't be that much dialogue naturally. If there's just this other entity and you're seeing it from this other entity's point of view, that person would have to be Johnny on the spot all the time to be getting all the bits of the story.
Yeah.
That there seem to be a couple of times where there's like, okay, here's a big exposition dump to get the story caught up so we can then go on to the next chunk.
Mm-hmm.
Still, again, worth watching, but it could have used a little more polish. I was kind of thinking that the slowness would be something that we see all the way through. So it was kind of exciting to see that, like real big action does happen in this at some point too.
Yeah.
Kind of wasn't sure.
It's pretty funny that they had a shot to make it seem like the dog was screaming in fear. That was pretty funny.
The first thing I thought of before watching the trailer is like, oh my gosh, this is such a brilliant, why didn't we think of this ourselves? Because especially when you're doing a supernatural story, you always have to worry about the idea of like an unreliable narrator. Is there somebody on drugs or mental illness? Is it all in their head? But when you have a dog, A dog has no bias, is just taking in, and we're just seeing, and also you usually as a writer, as a filmmaker, you have to do work to get the audience to care about your lead actor, lead performer. And when it's a dog, you just love it immediately.
Oh, and you do in this movie. Oh my God, you do in this movie so much.
Yeah, it's a really good point, because for me, scary movies, whether it's straight horror or supernatural, paranormal, it's all about the relationships. For me, that's really what locks me into the story itself, as opposed to just the jump scares and the backstory of why the house is haunted or whatever. It's more about these people interacting with the situation and evolving and growing or whatever. So I obviously I haven't seen this, Patrick. I don't care if you give me spoilers or not, but I don't know who is he going to have a relationship with, and how is there an evolution as a relationship?
Well, a lot of it is about his loyalty and the dog's loyalty and affection and protectiveness of the main human character. So you feel so bad for Indy as he's trying to warn him, to protect him, and the main human character is deeply flawed. And so there are moments you just kind of, there are moments you really don't like him, but Indy is just dedicated to him, so the emotional arc is Indy's increasing attempts to try to help this guy, who doesn't even know the situation he's in until like it's almost till well into the movie.
It's very impressive to be able to shoot any movie with an animal, like in general.
Oh yeah.
And then to have it be the main character, even just for, and Scott, obviously you can speak to this more than I can, but just the specific production stuff and the shots and the editing and getting the dog to do what you want it to do, that in of itself is really impressive. If they're able to engage the audience for whatever, an hour plus, that would be a feat.
Well, and I was also thinking that this is probably the last time we'll see something like this, because in the future, if they wanted to make this movie, even if they wanted to make this movie today, it would be an AI dog.
This is true.
So I mean, the fact that we really have, and you can tell, you could tell that's a real dog.
Yeah,
that's a real yeah.
So I mean, it is it's a feat. You're absolutely right. It is a feat doing something like this. All the different movies and TV shows I've worked on, there's rarely ever, I did work on, I guess I made up for it. I was gonna say there's rarely ever been a dog on it. However, or an animal at all in these films, because it is such an issue. But then I did work on Beverly Hills Chihuahua Part 2. So I guess I made up for all the lost time. And that was a blast. That was like one of the best sets ever, because you're just surrounded by dogs all the time.
I will say this, make sure you stay till after the credits.
Oh.
Because they end up doing a little featurette about how this worked and how they did it. And it took 4 years.
Wow.
But I cannot recommend this, state this strongly enough. Do not watch that featurette before you watch the film.
Oh, okay.
And you'll know why afterward.
So that tells me then there's a little twist and surprise.
Well, it's not about, I don't want to say anything. It's not about a twist in the movie. It's just the featurette shows you things and how they did it that if you knew it would seriously undermine the film.
Okay, I can see that.
And you'll know I don't want to say anything. You'll know exactly what I mean when you see this featurette. And by the way, you'll love this dog in the movie. After you see the featurette, you'll love him even more. Yeah.
Wow.
That's great.
Well, so when you watch the trailer now after watching the movie, Patrick, does it feel like the trailer does it justice, or the tone and all that stuff?
Yeah, it's a good. I hadn't seen the trailer because I wanted to see this movie so badly that I didn't watch anything about it before I went. I wanted to go in stone cold, and I just I love the trailer. I love that good and bop bop bop. That was really a well done little trailer trick. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think so. Although I think it's the movie's quieter And then speaking of dogs, my dog just came
I
running
hear
up
him.
the
Yeah.
stairs. You heard her running up the stairs. It's a much quieter movie than the trailer makes it seem like. It does have, some really tense moments, but it's not, it's not a loud movie,
Yeah,
which
I can
works
see
in its
that.
favor.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I mean, tonally, it matters. And by the way, just looking at the writers, co-written Alex Cannon and Ben Leonberg, both of those guys have a background as camera operators. So I wonder if there is just, coming from that space of knowing how to frame things, telling story visually, that has to be important. That part of their history has to have been important with this film.
Oh yeah, it's like you were saying, Max. It's not this obnoxious thing. It feels, the camera angles and the camera framing feels completely organic, and it makes it scarier because sometimes you're not seeing things that normally you would see.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Scott, I'm not surprised that they have a background in that because it was really well done.
I wish I could remember what movie it was, but there's a movie where there's a shot that is from the hallway looking into a bedroom, and the door is just barely cracked open, and the couple is having a conversation, not in the crack. They're just off to the side a little bit. And apparently when this first ran, everybody in the audience started leaning. There's something beautiful about how you can manipulate and get the people to lean in on something like that when it's just out of frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
I should try to I have to find the script to this. It'd be very interesting to see what the script looks like. If it's written by two camera operators, I bet it was very camera focused.
Well, especially if they knew they were going to direct it themselves. They weren't trying to sell it off. Yeah.
Right.
And very little dialogue.
Yeah. Right. I bet it was like 75 pages long or something. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm intrigued, and it's perfect time in terms of, Halloween season coming out here. I liked it.
Are there any other recent films, horror movies, or even whether it's recent, but maybe recent to you, that you guys have welcomed October in with?
Weapons.
Yeah. Okay. Me too.
Oh, I haven't seen Weapons. I haven't seen Sinners either, even though that may not.
Sinners. Man, Sinners might win Best Film.
Yeah.
Okay. You've seen it, Scott?
Oh yeah, I saw Sinners a while ago. Yeah, it came out in the early summer, maybe even late spring. It was a surprise that really kicked off the year.
Yeah.
An original film, and by that I mean not based on pre-existing IP, not a sequel, not an adaptation. It was tremendous. It was really tremendous. I hate that I'm a little further removed away, so I can't speak about it as freshly, but I know I absolutely loved it.
Okay.
I've
been a terrible moviegoer. I have not watched many movies.
I wasn't crazy about the coda at the end of Sinners, but everything else up to that point was A+.
Yeah, I mean it's a vampire movie set in Mississippi in the 30s, I believe. And I don't know, just sometimes the world alone can you say, okay, it's a vampire movie in this place with a couple of African-American literal brothers who are opening up a juke joint, jazz club kind of a place, and that's your setting. And like, yeah, okay, that's enough for me. I'll watch that.
Right.
You know what I thought Sinners should be taught in film schools as a model for how to introduce characters efficiently, quickly, and make you care about them immediately.
That's great.
That's good to know. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to watch it. I just, it's more fun when you watch these things with other people. I don't want to go by
Yeah,
myself.
I know what you mean.
Sure. And yeah, I think Weapons was really well done. To me, I got hints of Longlegs from the year before, as far as a great supernatural mystery where you really don't know what's going on for a while, but you're enjoying the ride.
Which do you prefer, Longlegs or Weapons? Because I have a very strong feeling about that.
I think I would go with Weapons because Longlegs, and I like a lot of what they did, but to me, there almost felt like I could feel the filmmakers trying to say, we need to make this more different from Silence of the Lambs because we're coming too close to it over and over again.
Over and over again. And Hereditary. I felt like it was Silence of the Lambs mashed up with Hereditary, and the addition came out less than the sum of its parts.
Right. Yes. No, I can dig on that. But I really liked visually. I liked what they did camera wise.
Oh yeah, that's
It
true.
just, I don't know. Again, the world, the place and time, and it's, not nothing glitzy about the setting. It's just a blue collar suburbanite town in a dreary landscape. And that alone helped a lot to me.
Yeah.
And Max, I don't want to give anything away, but Scott, what did you think of the ending of Weapons? It blew me away. That ending.
Yeah. So Weapons, without giving anything away, I mean, this is in the trailer. It sets up. When I first saw the trailer for this one, I thought, oh, this is an X-Files episode.
Yeah, that could be.
At 2:17 or something at night in the morning, all the members of one teacher's classroom disappeared. They ran out the door and were just gone, except for one student. And now what happened to those kids? And I have chills a little bit even thinking about that, because that's just such a great setup. Like, again, high concept. That's what I think. What all these have in common is that they're very high concept.
Yeah.
Ghost story from the point of view of the family dog. Say no more.
Yeah.
Right.
Was there some sort of, was it a cult? Was it these kids for some reason wanted to all run away? Did they make these decisions? What is the influence going on here? And why is it all from this one teacher's classroom? And how does she factor in? There's so many questions. And it does really unfold. There's just creepy moments throughout that are integral to the story. So, not spooky to be spooky, but it works. Yeah, I really, and then they introduced this character who you don't see in the trailer at all.
Smartly.
Gladys is all I'll say. It's like, wow, I didn't know that we had a new iconic icon of horror that was going to come out of this movie. But
wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see. I mean, Gladys. There are going to be so many Halloween Gladyses.
Yes.
Wow. Is this still in theaters?
A couple, not very many. It's okay. Yeah, but I think you can get it on demand now.
Oh, okay.
And Amy Madigan, who plays Gladys, I'm crossing my fingers and hope she gets an Oscar nomination. She's so good.
It's amazing because she's so creepy, and there was a little bit of a, gosh, every so often I think I know who that is, and I couldn't place it. Like, oh my gosh, that was the wife, the adorable mom and wife from Field of Dreams.
Yeah, she's Scott,
good. My friend Catherine, who's a horror film just genius.
Yeah,
she nailed it. She goes, Amy Madigan is perfect because she's always been known for this kind of spunkiness.
Yeah,
and that spunkiness just plays. It makes Gladys so terrifying.
Yeah. When there's the visual juxtaposition to the character, the incongruity almost. It's more uncanny then.
Yeah, you subvert expectations. It's all about visuals, man. We're working in a visual medium here. What do we see versus what do we learn and feel? Yeah.
I was just remembering that I've actually quoted Pat on this show in the past because, again, so much learned in the classroom.
Oh, Scott, thank you.
But the so true. I mean, and his wonderful wife Teresa, who I took classes with her as well, just dynamo. And there's a reason their names are in my book so much because they were absolutely a huge influence on who I am.
Wow, that's nice.
Well, we love you, Scott. Oh my God, Scott's like a member of the family to us.
Likewise. But we had a conversation, a common horror conversation on this show, which was, is Silence of the Lambs a horror movie or not? And Pat, in one of your classes, you said Silence of the Lambs was always considered a horror movie until it won Best Picture. Then it was a psychological drama.
Yeah. Same way with Sixth Sense. Once people started liking it, it was like, oh no, it was listed as the #1 thriller of all time. I'm like, dude, it's got ghosts.
Yeah. Right. Well, I want to know, Patrick, slightly changing the subject, but just because I'm in the mode now where I want to sit down at night and watch some scary movies because it's Halloween. So what are your go-tos every year, the rewatchable ones?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've got a couple. I watch Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow every Halloween. And a lot of times I watch John Carpenter's The Fog.
No.
I'm a big proponent of The Fog. I think it's a way underrated film in his body of work, and
Huh.
it's just such a great kind of ghost story. I don't know. I just love that. A lot of times I watch Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Nice.
Love that one. I love that. Yeah.
And then I always watch, of course, Charlie. I watch It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
And then I watch Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman.
Yes. So like the original one narrated by Bing Crosby.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you watch?
Yeah, that's my go-to every year. If
Ah,
Beetlejuice, I have to watch Beetlejuice.
great pick. Great pick.
I haven't watched it in a while, but I should make it a regular. But The Changeling with George C. Scott from like 1982 or 3.
We just rewatched that.
Oh,
So good.
it's so good. And the problem is that when you watch it now for a younger generation, so many movies have copied what they've done that now it's like, well, this isn't anything new. But back then, there was no special effect.
No.
It was all natural, and it was just eerie, spooky. It was one of the first times in a movie where they had like the EVP play out, and it's just so good. It's probably my favorite scary movie.
Oh, and sometimes I watch Trick or Treat, the anthology.
That's Scott's
That's
favorite.
mine.
Yeah.
That's a great
my
one, Scott. The young woman working at the movie theater had a Sam stocking hat on.
Nice. I feel like it's like I'm wasting it to watch it in October, because anytime I want that October feeling, I can watch it whenever, and it just brings you to, it feels like this is Halloween whenever I'm watching.
It's such a fun movie. I love it.
Well, and the mood that they set with the visuals and the colors, and it's very fall. Yeah.
And I'm so happy that it's found an audience, because I mean, that one, I think it got shelved. I mean, there's a whole backstory about how it really never got any attention when it first came out.
Oh yeah.
Now it's thanks to streaming, thanks to other places, it's out there, and people have, found this movie and they love it like I do.
Yeah.
Patrick, I know you've written a little bit yourself as well. I mean, is that something that you're pursuing much?
Well, I've thought about it, but I've been doing more academic work. I got an article coming out in a collection. I'm blanking on the collection, but it's a collection on eco-criticism, but it's called like non-serious eco-criticism, which is like eco-criticism that tries to do something different or uses humor or talks about bizarre things. And I've got an article coming in there about the depiction of farming in horror films.
Interesting.
Well, explain eco-criticism.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's looking at how nature gets represented in popular culture and in art.
Huh. Interesting. I've never heard that term before.
No.
Yeah, I've been my friends Andy and Bill Major and Andy McMurray got me into it because they're big into it. They're big guys in that field. I'm not, but they got me into it, and Tress has been doing the fiction writing. She writes stories using her family history from the Philippines mixed in with the mythological monsters from Filipino folklore.
Oh, cool.
So she's basically writing kind of dark fantasy or horror fantasy. And she's gotten 3 stories published in the last 2 years. She's just been an engine, man, but she's stuck on this one story. It's really difficult.
I just want to go out on a limb and say, I think you guys are a great couple.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. We're going to say about you and Wendy. Oh my God.
Yeah. Thank you. And Teresa, she did, I remember this is many years ago, she did a big research paper on vampires, I want to say, wasn't it?
Well, she's been working on this. What she's been researching is the kind of the Filipino vampire, which is called the Manananggal.
All right.
Which usually female. At night, they separate their bodies. Their upper half separates from their lower half. And then they fly through the night with their entrails trailing out underneath below them. And they land on the nipa huts, the nipa grass huts, and they have these long hollow tube tongues that go down and suck blood, especially from children.
Oh my Lord.
Last episode we were talking with Chad Lewis about the belly splitter, this German or just horrifying folk figure. I love these. Yeah. Man, it's not, you don't need to get into modern day. Oh, it's video games, bad influences. We've all been messed up for a long time.
Seriously. Yeah. I'm sure that was created just to make a kid go to sleep and be good.
Yeah.
Right.
But in her fiction, though, she's reclaiming that figure. The Manananggal are actually a lot of times the heroes. I don't want to give too much away, I guess. That's
Sure,
sometimes
no, that's
that's
fine.
sometimes a. But
Just out of curiosity, if you know the answer to this, so the upper half flies away and does this stuff. What's the lower half doing?
roots into place.
Okay.
It roots to the ground, and if you find the lower half, you can kill or control the Manananggal, according to some stories.
That's a really great idea.
Yeah.
Filipino folklore is filled with these amazing monsters. You know,
This
the
is
Chonik, a little demon baby that you'll find in the woods and will demand that you give it a name. You know, it's like, oh, just real interesting kind of stuff.
you know, there's just so much out there.
Yeah.
That, like, why are we getting? And I love zombie movies by all means, but like, do we need another zombie movie? Let's go
I'm
down some of
zombied
these
out.
other rabbit holes.
Totally.
I'm zombied out.
Completely agree. Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I watched all of Walking Dead. I loved Walking Dead. But then I watched The Last of Us and I was like, The Walking Dead did all of this already. It's a different kind of monster and zombie, and it was slower and I appreciated the drama of it. But it's the same, like, I don't know what else you could do.
Max, I felt the same way. Yeah. Good show. Great third episode. Oh my God.
Yeah.
The one with Nick Offerman. Wow.
Amazing.
Amazing. One of the best episodes I've ever seen. But
over
time, I'm like, I just kind of feel like I was zombied out years ago.
Yeah.
You know, Last Train to Busan got me.
Oh, I don't know that.
Have you seen Last Train to Busan?
No.
Korean. I think it's Korean zombie film. Watch that movie. That's good.
Huh. Last Train to Busan. Okay. Well,
that makes it fresh again somehow. Yeah.
I hope everybody's been taking notes and remembering all of this.
Speaking of zombies or zombie-like, I was just mentioning, I just saw, I can't believe it's for the first time, Slither.
Oh, I love Slither.
It's so insane, but so much fun.
So much fun.
It really marries the whole alien invasion and zombie movie. It's got both of those feels at once.
That's a fun horror film.
Yeah.
And gross and in really cool ways. And I don't feel good. You know what scene I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know if I could do it.
Oh, yeah, it's not one to have dinner while you're watching.
No, it's gross. It's gross.
But tremendous cast and definitely worth it. So you were saying that Teresa is heading out on a writer's retreat, and I do want to take a moment to thank Max for inviting me to come back and speak at his writer's retreat, which just wrapped up a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Story Farm.
Yeah, at the end of September. Yeah, I host at least one retreat every year. This was the 6th that I've done since 2021. And I get anywhere from like 8 to 13, 14 writers together in little Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And wow. and it's always so productive and creative and you know, we eat too much and drink too much, but there's a lot of writing time available. Like a lot of writing retreats, they just jam pack your schedule so that you have to do this and you have yoga at this time and we're going to go for a hike and we're going to go look at this thing. We're going to take this tour. And then by the end of it, it's like, well, I thought this was a writing retreat.
Yeah.
So I built the retreat to be specifically focused so that you have a lot of writing time with workshops, with pitching stuff, office hours with me, etc. And it's always been great. But then Scott and I, with the help of one of our friends, I'm launching a short film production retreat so that writers are going to write a short, but then we're going to teach them video production and directing 101 and cast, how to cast some crew. And then during a 7-day retreat at the same location I host the writing retreat, we're going to shoot up to 8, depending on how many writers attend, short films over the course of that week. They'll be short. They'll be like 5-6 minutes,
I love that idea.
Yeah, it's going to be so educational for these writers to be able to write something and work on something for so long and then actually shoot it with people who know how to do it,
I don't think I've ever heard of anything like that before. I think that's a great idea.
Thank you. I know. And that's why I'm pretty jazzed about it. I mean, I haven't even done any promotions for it and I already have 6 people who want to do it. And so
I can think of people I would recommend. I can call up right now and say, go do this.
Well, I mean, if I get a huge turnout, I'll do a second one like at the end of the summer, like before the writing retreat or something, and we'll just go for it because it's worth it,
You know what, Max? You know what you're doing too? You're really helping people, because one of the things I've always said about Scott was that
He never helps anybody.
just throws you under the bus. When I first met him, I would have so many students who would say, "Oh, I want to be a filmmaker," and I'd say, "Oh, well, what are you making?" "Nothing." "Well, are you making any? Are you doing this?" No. I'm just going to somehow just suddenly become one.
Right.
And Scott's like, "Oh, I made this. Here's my documentary I made." And so a lot of times I think there's some people who have this talent and they have this desire, but there's just inertia. It's such a daunting thing to say, how will I get over this and start making this thing, So that something like what you're talking about is just perfect.
It's giving people the confidence to know that I could actually do this and the cost of the retreat. It's a long 7-month program that we'll be in, but is less than what you would probably cost to make a real short film, So
Yeah.
We're going to show them here are the basics, and there'll be slight parameters, because doing 7 or 8 shorts over 6 days basically it's not easy, and so we have to kind of compress the length in terms of the scripts, but they're going to see that this is doable. Just get your iPhone out, shoot something, and try to make it look as professional as possible, because really it's all about the process of bringing the script to the screen, which is technically what every writer is hoping to see anyway. Yeah. But if they can do it themselves, what the heck? And we're in a creator economy right now, and it's just going to get bigger and more apparent. So let's make things on our own, man.
I had thanks for the kind words as always. But I was lucky in that when I was 18 and just was really wanting to be a filmmaker and didn't know what to do, I happened to meet somebody who, this is back in the late 90s. He had the dual professional VCR setup with a separate machine for titles and a separate machine for audio and a separate machine for every little thing. And he showed me the ropes and was very happy to be a teacher. And that allowed me to hit the ground running with direction. So that's hopefully, if somebody else isn't as lucky to have somebody like that mentor them early on, that's what we will hopefully do.
Right. Yeah. Well, let's tell some stories. I want to hear what Patrick has to say about what's happening in his past spooky moments.
Is your current house haunted?
Yeah, right.
No. Well, Tressa said one weird thing happened when she and I was gone on a trip, and she and one of this is before we got, we have 2 dogs now. We just had one at the time, Shadow. And they were back in our bedroom, which is the back of the house, and it has a lock. It has a door with the old metal hardware from I don't know how old. And she heard it come open, and Shadow looked to the door as well, heard it, and she walked over there and opened the door, but nobody was there. She was scared, but that's the only thing. But she also says she doesn't have any bad feelings in this house at all, that it's a very positive environment. And I agree with her. There's a real positive feeling here. So, I walk around at night with the lights off, and I'm not, I feel good. I walk outside. I like walking outside. We got, we're out kind of in the woods. And so I like going out there. In fact, I even go with a flashlight and shine it up in the trees because I think it looks spooky.
You're trying to bring it even more.
This place needs to be scarier.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I love that your dog Shadow witnessed the one thing that happened, because at first we were going to make this a animals and ghosts episode before you were able to join us, and then we can go more horror, because we did have a comment left for us from a listener, Michael, who I think actually is in the Lake Geneva, Delavan area. And so I'll just go through this quickly. Our most dramatic experience was with our late dog, Carmel, in our old house in Spring Grove, Illinois. We lived there for 23 years, 2-story Queen Victorian from 1900. On this occasion, we were going late to bed sometime after midnight. Rooms on the 2nd floor. Carmel usually slept between us. We were finally settling into sleep. Carmel between our pillows as usual, but this time she wouldn't settle down. She was looking up into the corner of the ceiling and watched her turn around with her back to that corner, and then began to tremble, whole body trembling. We tried to calm her down, but she ignored us. Tried to turn around, and she just stiff-legged would not comply. She sat like that, trembling for 20 minutes. After that, she did finally calm down, turn around, and fall asleep. The next day, after all this, my wife woke up and told me she had a dream the previous week in which she saw a large black owl in that same corner of the ceiling.
Wow.
Interesting.
Right.
Ew, that gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, right.
I had
Because
a
seeing an owl can technically mean it's a form of a close encounter.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
just
but
ask David Lynch.
Fourth
Right?
kind or something, or I can't.
Oh,
fifth
that's
kind.
right.
Yeah. Wow, that's spooky. Thanks
I'm
for
gonna
that,
close the
Michael.
story.
That was cool.
That was great. Good story. You know, we did have something kind of like that happen. Is that it was late at night, and the dogs woke Tressa up, and Sable, our other dog, and Shadow got off the bed, went out the bedroom door into where the dining room is, and then came running back, terrified.
Oh, wow.
And Sable, especially, was just trembling like that, trembling. We couldn't get her to calm down. And Tressa woke me up and said, "You got to go out there and see if there's something out there." And I was, I admit, I was scared.
Yeah.
And so I walked around the house, turned the lights on and stuff. I was walking around, couldn't find anything. I get to the very front of the house. The only thing is that there's a smoke alarm beeping
Oh,
because the battery's getting low.
sure.
I thought, well, I'll fix that in the morning. And so I come back and said, I didn't find anything. And so I laid there for about 30 minutes going, oh, maybe this is it. Maybe the house is haunted. They saw something really scary. So I go to, finally I fall asleep. We get up in the morning. We go into the kitchen. The dogs follow us. I'm like, boy, that was really scary last night. The smoke alarm beeps. Sable freaks out.
Yeah.
It was the smoke alarm the
Yeah.
whole time.
Oh
was
my
enough.
goodness. It's a very sweet dog, but good Lord.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I'll share. When I was first doing my documentary, so in 99, 2000, we had a lot of activity at my house, my parents' house in Mundelein.
Really?
All sorts of sounds. A ghost light was seen a couple times out in the backyard. That kind of like really triggered. That was the very beginning of the documentary. So a number of things happened. And then I was hanging out with some friends in my basement. We had this Cocker Spaniel, Noel, who was the dog version of Garfield. Just a sleeping 23 and a half hours a day, mellow dog. And we're hanging out talking, and she wakes up, sees something towards the ceiling and starts growling, and then follows this thing as it goes about halfway across the ceiling. She's locked onto it. And then it must have just disappeared because she's like, she just kind of looked around at all of us like, what the hell was that thing?
Wow.
We didn't see anything, but like to get her to react at all was really something.
That's wild. That's wild.
And then another quick dog story. The neighbor across the street, their dog, Misha was its name. At one moment, just the trembling mentioned in that last story made me think of this. Jumped up on the bed. This was not like middle of the night or anything. It was evening, but not at night. So nobody else was in bed yet. The dog jumped into bed trembling, and the owners were trying to calm it down and say, what's you okay? What's going on? What's wrong? And this thing was just inconsolable and actually urinated right there in fear.
Wow.
And right then they had this whoosh of the scent of like medicine. And it turned out one of these people, their mother, died at the hospital right then and there at that same time. So it's like the mother swung by on her way out to say goodbye.
Just to scare the shit out of the dog.
Right. Yeah, no kidding.
Wow.
So we always hear, and I've heard many, many, many times, and I really do believe this, that animals are more perceptive than we are.
Yeah,
So
for sure. For sure. Well, do we want to get into the story?
yeah, yes, absolutely.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Patrick, your fantastic story.
Which
Or
do you
two.
want a dog one?
No, it doesn't have to be a dog one. I always love hearing about where you grew up, but then also your Exorcist story, that where you stayed, where you were living then.
Oh my God, yeah. I was living above a funeral home and working in the funeral home for free rent. And I went to see The Exorcist for the first time at a midnight movie. I came home. As I came home into the funeral home, I had to walk through the funeral home to get to my apartment. I saw they had bought a body in, and my apartment was directly above that. And my roommate was gone. And I walked up to the apartment, and the phone rang. I picked it up. It was my friend Gordon Robertson. I knew who it was. I'd seen the movie with him. And he, on the phone, he went, "Yeah, blah, blah, blah." He did the voice. And I just hung at the phone, turned on the lights, got out some Superman comic books and read until morning. I knew I was not going to, there's no way I was going to sleep. No way.
Yeah. But then there was also, separately from that night, something you had an experience also.
Oh, I did. You're right. I did. My roommate, Tim, was a real hard-nosed guy, no nonsense, great guy, funny guy, but just none of this, wouldn't sit for any of this kind of ghost stuff at all. Like, just none of it. And the owners of the funeral home would let us use their computer. And this is before there were like computers around very, very much. None of us owned computers. And so we would go down into the office at night and do our work, our academic work. So you had to go down from our apartment, walk through the visitation room, walk through the chapel, and then into the office.
Yeesh.
Yeah. So I'm wrapping up my work. I'm done. I start walking through the chapel, and I get the distinct feeling as if something is sliding up over my head in the darkness. And it was a flight response. I started walking fast, then running. And by the time I hit the visitation room, I ran to the door to our apartment, ran up the steps, went to the right, sat down in our living room area, sat in the chair, and just went, "Oh my God, that was weird." Because I ran just instinctively. So then I hear Tim goes from our bedroom area down the stairs, and he's doing some work downstairs. About 40 minutes later, he comes running up the stairs, and realize this is a no-nonsense guy. He comes in the living room and goes, "The weirdest thing just happened." I said, "What?" And he goes, "When I was walking to the chapel, I felt like something was chasing me." And he goes, "And I ran up here." And I was just like, "Oh, coward."
Right.
But I was like, I was like, "Oh my God, I just felt that too." And we did not talk at all before that happened.
Yeah. I love that when it can be confirmed by somebody else without them knowing that you just had that experience.
Yeah.
Was there a body in the building at that time?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't know. But to show you how no nonsense Tim was, his boots were dead men's boots.
Yeah.
A guy came in and nobody paid his bill. And so they had all his belongings, and the owners went, "Hey, Tim, will these boots fit you?" He goes, "Yeah." He started walking in like that day.
Patrick, I mean, this was a lot of fun. I feel like we could keep going for a while, but we have a time limit here. But is there anything else you want to share? I mean, any kind of spooky story or?
Someone told me a real scary dog story. If you want to hear it.
Okay, sure.
Family moved into a house, old house. This is back in Missouri. Weird things started to happen. They started having some, objects being moved around. Their daughter felt very unsafe in the house, weird in the house, scared. So they got a dog. They adopted an adult dog. And the dog didn't have a name yet. The dog had just been dropped off. And so they named the dog No. Because weirdly, almost on cue every night at a certain time, like 2:37, they would wake up and that dog, a big kind of Labrador, would be sitting in the parents' bedroom, looking up at the corner of the room and shaking his head like he was saying no.
Oh, God.
Like this. So they called him No. Then more stuff started to happen. So they researched the history of the home. And it turns out that the original owner of the home had hung himself in that room, in that corner.
Wow.
So the dog wasn't saying no.
Yeah.
The dog was watching
sway.
The corpse sway.
Ew. That almost sounds too good. Like, so who made up that story? That's too good. That is fantastic.
Somebody might have made it up, but I still like it.
That's a really good one. I'm using that one.
Good.
Gosh.
Well, thank you for having me on. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes.
We should do it again and put a plan together and talk a lot about your own past and your own personal experiences. What we could have gotten into a little bit more, like why do you love horror?
I got other ghost stories. That's
yeah, we should.
And I can throw. Tressa has a website that has the two on there, and I can send you the link to that.
Okay,
that would be great. We'll definitely share that.
And I might share, once I'm ready to launch the short film production retreat, I might share the link with you. And just if you have anybody that you want to refer to,
I'll post it. I got a lot of my ex-students I'm friends with on like Facebook and social media. I can post that. Yes, absolutely.
Cool. Okay.
Very good. And anything to get you to come back to town too. So maybe you want to, or
Hey,
Tressa.
I'm gonna be, in fact, that collection's coming out. I'm coming back to be on a panel about it. So in February, I'll be back in town.
Okay, excellent. Look forward to that.
We'll hook up.
Yes.
We'll see each other then. That'll be great.
Yeah.
All right, sounds great.
All right, Patrick. Well, thanks so much. And of course, to all of you watching and listening, thank you for tuning in. We're going to be doing more of these through the Halloween season, getting all spookified. And let us know what your favorite scary movies are. Reach out, tell us any ghost stories. And if you have any of your own really fantastic stories, then you may be invited as the next guest on the Fantastic Story Society. So thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.